Hello children, myself Mrs. Dimple Kundar from Seth Vidya Mandir English High School CBSE will continue Maths for Standard 2, Lesson number 6, Fractions. So children, let's continue with the lesson fractions, naming, drawing and shading fractions. So let's explain how we had done. I have already explained. Now this is a circle when the whole part is shaded. Okay, if it is completely colored or completely shaded, it is called, yes, I had told you, it is called whole, that is one full part. Okay, now suppose this same circle, if I cut it into two pieces and I shade only one part of it, that means first it is called as half, as I had explained. And how do we name it? There are total parts, the total parts upon the shaded part upon the total part. Now how many parts are shaded? Only one part is shaded. And what are the total parts of the circle? 1 and 2. So 1 upon 2. So whenever we name a fraction, it has to be the shaded part upon the total parts. And for 1 upon 2, we have the name given as half. Okay, we move on to the next one. Now the same circle, I cut it into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I shade one part of it. So how do I name it? The total, the shaded part. How many shaded parts are there? 1. Upon the total parts. How many total parts were there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is called as 1 upon 4. So what was the name given? 1/4, or I had also told it is called 1/4. Okay. So, and now we move on to one more thing. Now this is cut into 1, 2, 3 parts. Okay. And I am shading one part of it. So, now the shaded part upon the total part. The shaded part is 1 and the total parts were 3. So how do I write? 1 upon 3. So 1/3. So I name it as 1/3. Okay. So this is half. 1/4. So 1 upon 4. So 1/4. And 1/3. So 1 upon 3. This is how we name and shade the parts. On next question, name and write the fraction for the shaded part. So now I had already explained how we name it. Okay, so now how do we name it? The shaded part upon the total part. So now total parts are 2 and how many part is shaded? 1. So it will be 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 is also called as half. So this is the name of the shaded part and it is written as half. So the fraction is 1 upon 2 and the name is half. Okay, the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Out of that, how many are shaded or colored? 1, 2, 3. So the name of the fraction will be 3 upon 4. So it is called as 3/4. 3/4. Okay, so the number on top comes first and the number down comes later on. Okay, next one, 1, 2, 3. Out of 3 parts, how many parts are colored? 1, 2. So it will be 2 upon 3. The shaded part upon the total parts. So how do I write it? Yes, 2/3. Okay, so I hope you all are understanding. So the shaded part upon the total part, and these are the names of the fraction. These are the fractions and these are the names of the fraction. Okay, always remember the shaded part upon the total parts, and the shaded part name will come first and the total parts name will come next. Move to the next question. Shade half of each shape. Half means, yes, you know that half means 1 upon 2. So 1 part out of the 2 parts. Now this is a square. It has been cut into 2 parts. So I will shade any one part. Okay. Similarly, now 2 triangles are there. I have to shade half. So that means I will shade only one part. Okay. Similarly for the circle also. Isn't it easy to shade only one part? And similarly even for the triangle, and it is not necessary you have to shade one part, the first part only. You can shade any of the parts. Next question, shade 1/4 of each shape. 1/4 means, yes, 1 upon 4. So 1 part out of 4 parts. Now circle with 4 parts. So I will shade only one part out of the 4 parts. Similarly for this also, only one part. I know you will have fun coloring and shading this part. So again, this is also 4 parts. So I will shade only one part. And here also, let's shade the inner part. I can shade any of the 4 parts. Last part, shade 1/3 of each shape. 1/3 means 1 out of the 3 parts. So there are 3 parts. So let's start shading. I know you know it, but then also I will explain. 1 part out of the 3 parts. Similarly here also I will color any one part. Here also I can color any one part. You all also can color whichever part you want. But okay, and here also the 3 parts are there. I will shade any one part. So fun time and nice time coloring and shading. I hope you all have understood and will do the coloring and shading part. Thank you, and I'll continue later.